World War 3 has a really nice arsenal when it comes to weapons, and after reaching max rank and playing with pretty much all of them, I think it's finally time to give you guys my top 5 weapons in World War 3. And alongside this, I will give you guys my best setup for them as well. But before we get into that, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. You guys have been absolutely amazing lately, so let's just keep it going. But without any further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to start with the last place. So on number 5 we have the MSBS-B. This thing is an absolute monster on close range, but I'm not going to lie, this was a really tight spot. It was between this and the M4, but I feel like the MSBS-B has a bit less side-to-side recoil and can be used at longer ranges a bit easier, so it has more variety basically. And also it sounds really nice with a suppressor on. So for the best loadout here, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We have the SPD reflex sight, the PEC 15 laser, the 30 round mag with puller for faster reload, the monster grip to reduce a bit of the recoil, and lastly the combo suppressor from the backpack to keep off the minimap and help the horizontal recoil a bit also. With this kind of setup you'll ruin people up close. Honestly, I've been using this a lot lately and I was really surprised on how well it performs at medium range also. But for what it can do, the MSBS-B only takes place 5. Alright, let's move on to the next. On number 4 we have the Alpha. And this is the last weapon to unlock in the game. And although I was expecting a lot more from this, to be completely honest, the Alpha still does what it's expected to do. And that is drop targets at medium range really fast because of that 7.62 bullet. But the recoil can be quite hard to control sometimes, and most of it is horizontal, which makes me put this weapon on the 4th place basically. For long range it definitely has a 2-round burst, which makes it a laser basically, but honestly I'm not a huge fan of it. Switching from full auto to burst all the time can be annoying. But the Alpha is a unique weapon because of that burst mode, just like the N94 from Battlefield games, but being a last level unlock I feel like it falls a bit short. The setup I like to run with this is the SPD reflex sight for the scope, but you can use a 3x if you are planning to use the burst mode, the classic vertical grip to lower the recoil, the 30 round mag with puller for faster reload, the PEC 15 laser sight for faster ADS, AP rounds for that extra magazine and extra damage to armor, and lastly the combo suppressor to keep off the minimap and reduce the vertical recoil a bit also. So if you're planning to use the Alpha, definitely stick to close to medium range. I'll stay away from long range on full automatic mode. But now let's move on to the top 3, and here most of you won't be surprised. If you watch my channel for some time now, you kinda know what my go-to weapons are. And on the 3rd place we have this Scar H. This is a marksman rifle and it's an absolute monster. This again uses 7.62 rounds and is definitely my go-to weapon for long range fights, although this weapon can hold its own up close too. The Scar A just feels great to use, and most of the time I find it kinda overpowered because it drops enemies just extremely fast if you have decent aim. Let me tell you guys, if you hit a headshot with this, it's kinda game over for them. Now for the best setup, there is nothing fancy here, it's kind of the usual. This weapon has mostly vertical recoil, so we're going to use the SPD reflex or the Echo 3X from the backpack, depending on what range you aim for. The monster grip big for lower vertical recoil, the PEC 15 laser for faster ADS, the FMJ rounds for that extra mag, and lastly the combo suppressor to be a bit stealthy and help the horizontal recoil a bit also. This is a really effective loadout and can be used on all ranges, although DMRs will get a nerf in the open beta, so definitely use this now before it's too late. Moving on to number 2, here we have the Beryl 7.62. This is another assault rifle that uses 7.62 rounds, and the best part about this is the fact that it's a really low level weapon, and that means no unnecessary grinding needed, which is amazing. This weapon is extremely good for all ranges, but for long range I would definitely tap fire this a bit more. Up close and at medium it can take out players extremely fast, and when it comes to recoil, well, it basically has really easy to control one. Most of it feels horizontal, but with decent attachments you can get rid of most of it. With the Beryl I have 2 loadouts that I really like, one for close and one for medium to long range. So let's start with the close range. Here we have the reflex red dot, the vertical grip to help with the recoil, the 30 round mag with puller for the close combat barrel for better damage up close, and the combo suppressor to stay off the minimap and reduce the recoil up even more. This loadout is extremely good for close range and is very mobile and fast. It's basically an SMG with 7.62 rounds, which makes this weapon amazing. And for long range we're going to use the 3X, the classic vertical grip, 30 round mag with puller, the PEC 15 laser sight for faster ADS, marksman barrel for maximum range, and the M416 muzzle to reduce the recoil even more. This loadout really excels in medium to long range, but I'll recommend tap firing if you try to go for really long ranges, because the 7.62 rounds can definitely have a bit of a kick. So this is my best barrel loadout. This weapon is really something special for me. Whenever I go for clips or go try hard mode, this weapon is one of my top choices. And now let's move on to the first place, and I think there's no surprise here. The number one weapon for me is definitely the M416. This weapon has it all, and let's just be honest, it just looks so cool as well. The M416 has a very low recoil and most of it is vertical, so very easy to control, and with decent attachments this weapon can be used at all ranges with ease. This weapon has really good bullet velocity and fire rate because of that 5.56 round, and it makes it perfect for close to medium range fights, but because this has a very low recoil, the M416 can definitely laser people at long range as well. My go-to loadout for this is pretty straightforward. Again, we're going to have the kernel scope. This is the last scope you unlock for the gun. It really is very clean and easy to use. The 30 round mag with puller for faster reload, the Jana grip for the minus 15% in both horizontal and vertical, the PEC 15 laser sight for better ADS, and lastly the QD suppressor to be a bit of a ninja, and because this suppressor doesn't affect the velocity like the other ones. This is definitely my go-to loadout for pretty much anything. The M416 is just godlike in World War 3 and is definitely going to be one of the weapons that will get a nerf in the open beta. So these are my top 5 weapons in the game. Definitely some really good ones here, and if you'd like to see more stuff about each of them, I have separate videos on my channel, so make sure to go check them out. But that's it about today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below what are your favorite weapons, and honestly I would really like to hear your guys' thoughts as well. And I hope the open beta will bring more guns in the game, because it's getting kind of boring, to be honest. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all in the next one.